guys, so I've mentioned this in a blog before, but I found myself using it in a different way recently. And it's a lesson I learned from my grandpa when I was 17. I was learning to drive. I can't remember exactly what the conversation was, but I think my mum had described me, was it not slowing down sufficiently at a roundabout or something like that. And my grandpa had said, what if someone does this and you were to crash? And I said, well, I was fine. If I had a crash, it wouldn't have been my fault. To which he replied, it doesn't matter whose fault it is if you're dead. Which was a powerful realisation that actually when driving it's my responsibility to look after myself. I almost assume that everyone else is not out to kill you, but not far off. So don't leave yourself in a position where you're reliant on other people making the right decision to keep you alive. You make sure that you're kept alive yourself. And I found myself using that same phrase with the kids recently, because I insist 100% that they always wear helmets when on bikes and scooters, etc. And they're generally pretty fine with it, but they obviously notice a number of people not. And at the risk of sounding like an old man myself now, I think more and more over the last 20 odd years, less and less people are wearing helmets. I'm sure everyone used to wear one for a while, and now maybe like half of people wear helmets when cycling. And a couple of times the kids have said something like about they trust themselves cycling and they've never fallen off a bike, which I completely get, and I do trust them. I think they're fantastic cyclists. But as I explained, it doesn't matter whose fault it is if you're dead. If someone knocks you off your bike because they're not watching what they're doing while they're driving, and you're not wearing a helmet and you die from a head injury, I would never be able to forgive myself. If you died from the head injury when wearing your helmet, it'd still be terrible, but at least I would have felt that I and they had done what needed to be done to protect ourselves. And obviously would make it less likely. I know there's different opinions on the effectiveness of helmets, but at the very least would make it less likely. So I insist 100%, and then they're generally fine with it. They wear their helmets all the time because it doesn't matter whose fault it is if they're dead. And the parallel there is it doesn't matter whose fault it is if we're fat or not happy with our body or what have you. So if someone is flabbertising you, if someone is making it all harder than it has to be, if someone is offering you cake and biscuits at work, someone is bringing home wine and chocolate of an evening, someone is guilt-tripping you into joining in what they're doing, making you feel bad, telling you you're no fun anymore, that you've changed, that you're boring, it's partly their fault, yeah, but it doesn't really matter. It's only you that will suffer. It's only you that will be the equivalent of dead in that situation. It's only us that can protect ourselves. It's only us that can almost kind of assume that that's what the people are going to do and protect ourselves from it. And the most powerful way to protect ourselves from it is to stick to our guns when we say something. So if we tell someone that we don't want it 19 times, then give it on the 20th time, all we're teaching them to do is to tell us 20 times, or to ask us, or to tell us we're boring 20 times, or whatever it may be. If we don't do what they're trying to pressure us into, they soon give up because it makes them feel bad. You know, they're not going to go on to 50 or 100 or 200 times because they'll feel pretty bad about their own choices at that point. So that's the lesson, guys. Just like my grandpa taught me and just like I'm trying to teach my kids now, it doesn't matter whose fault it is if you're dead. It kind of doesn't matter whose fault it is if you're unhappy with your body, if it's not where you want it to be. Ultimately, the buck stops with us. We can protect ourselves. Okay, guys, give the video a like. Let me know what you got from that. Any comments below. Enjoy the rest of your evening.